at me. Can you tell me your name?
Irina Lefterova Patia,
Can you spell that for me?
Irina Levterova Bhatia.
And how are you affiliated with today's Stand Up with Ukraine?
I am Ukrainian. My family is Ukrainian. Many of them are in Ukraine. My lifelong friends are in Ukraine. And we're calling for attention and for global assistance. From the world community, from the US and from NATO to be able to win this war.
Tell me about today's event.
Today's event is to draw the attention of the community to the issues, to draw attention to the fact that NATO is not assisting us. They have made a decision yesterday not to close the Ukrainian skies for Russian invaders. They have made a decision not to provide us the fighter jets that have been previously promised to us. They have only so far contributed as much as 50 tons of diesel fuel, and that's nothing in the scale of a second largest army in the world invading us. We need help, we need attention, we need funds, we need weapons, we need humanitarian aid.
Why this location in Atlanta?
Героям слава! Героям слава! Героям слава! I'm legally obligated to respond to that slogan.
What slogan was that, and why are you?
One person says, "Glory to Ukraine." Everybody around answers with "Glory to the heroes." And that is the heroes who have and are and will continue to protect our independence, our sovereignty, and our families. This location is a typical gathering place for us. We have been here since last week, since the invasion began, many days. This is kind of the public space that allows us to be seen, that allows us to see traffic going by to the aquarium and to Mercedes-Benz. This is a high visibility place where we usually try to get our point across since the invasion began last week.
Do you have family in Ukraine?
I do, much of it.
And I'm sorry, where are they?
Many of them. We are originally from Kiev, and a lot of my family is in Kiev. Some have tried to flee in different directions. Some unfortunately cannot because of elderly relatives, because of immobilized relatives who have a handicap of some sort, who cannot. There are a lot of people in other cities. We have a second cousin who is in the city of Berdyansk, which was taken last weekend. We have family friends whom I've known my entire life who are also trapped in homes with elderly and disabled family members who cannot move. Some of us here have family in the places that has been cut off from the world, where the tanks are surrounding the city and the bridges have been blown. All of our hearts are with our families right now.
What was the last contact that you had with a family member in Ukraine?
We are very fortunate to still have internet where our families are and to still have power. We are constantly on an ongoing roll call with our family group on WhatsApp, constantly checking in on them. However, the other organizer of this event has effectively lost contact with her family because once the phones ran out of power, this is it. And she just made a statement that she will probably not hear from them until the war is over, whichever way that goes. So until Ukraine wins, she just has hope and prayer to go by.
For those in the United States that are not Ukrainian, what would you like them to do?
I would like for them to make a stand and to make their position known to the people in power. I want them to write to their representatives. I want them to make a statement that they want U.S. to get involved and that they want U.S. to help with more than just sending diesel. They are in power to communicate to their representatives wherever they are in the U.S. It doesn't have to be Atlanta. Anybody can write to the White House. Anybody can write to democracy.io, I think is the website, and make their position known. Anybody can donate. Anybody can spread information. Anybody can try to engage with logistics of sending help. There are a lot of opportunities for one to help saving lives, to prevent the nuclear war, to preserve the world historic and cultural heritage that's being destroyed as we speak.
We're here in Atlanta. Coca-Cola is just over our shoulders. Tell me about what Coca-Cola is doing or not doing and what you would like to see from Coke.
As of yesterday, I found out from multiple sources that Coca-Cola is continuing to do business in Russia. Not only that, Coca-Cola bottling company that is based in London, according to a Reuters article from last month, has recorded record profits last year, largely because of their customer base in Russia. And they are taking a stance of continuing to do business there and continue profiting from murder and continue channeling their dollars into a terrorist economy to sponsor murder. We have started a campaign. I found the contact information of some of their VP level leadership who is responsible for communicating those decisions and for making public statements. I have shared their information on every social media channel that is available to me, and we are demanding a stance, we are demanding a statement, we are demanding action. Every dollar spent on Coca-Cola products here and globally is currently sponsoring bullets and missiles that are killing my family. We demand that Coca-Cola stops profiteering from business in Russia and stops channeling dollars to Putin.
What else would you like to share?
We need NATO help, we need US help, we need real military help. We need US to stop buying Russian oil, and we need aid, we need weapons. We need the global community to get involved.
Tell me again your affiliation with today's event.
I am a Ukrainian. My family is Ukrainian. I have family in Ukraine. I have lifelong friends in Ukraine, and I'm here to speak for them while they cannot.
And there is a Facebook group. Can you speak to that?
I'm sorry?
There's a Facebook group in Atlanta.
There is a Ukrainian community in Atlanta. We are connected through several Facebook groups. There are many Ukrainian groups across the nation and globally, and that the Atlanta chapter is the one that's organizing this event.
Anything else I haven't asked you that we should talk about?
Other than four-letter words, no.
Can you give me, last question is, tell me about one of the communications that you had with a family member or friend in Ukraine today or yesterday.
Where do we start? They're sheltering. They, my uncle, my aunts, my cousins are in Ukraine. I have a lot of family in Russia, in St. Petersburg, in Moscow, in Russian-occupied Crimea. I can tell you that Atlanta doesn't sleep until the sun goes up in Kiev. They're hearing shots, they're hearing explosions. They are trying their best to stay safe and to take care of each other in any way that they can. Right now, everybody that is related to me is alive, and we are grateful for that. Again, we need US, we need NATO to ensure that continues to be the case.
Did I hear you say you have family in Russia?
Correct. I have cousins, first cousins in both St. Petersburg and Moscow, and I have aunts in their families in Crimea.
And have you been in touch with your family in Russia?
I have.
And is there anything that you can share with us about
Absolutely. Russia is leading different types of war, and a very important one is informational war. They have blocked Ukrainian channels. They have blocked many websites and many progressive channels. As of yesterday, Russia has blocked Facebook for their citizens. They are cutting them off completely from the reality of what their fellow citizens are doing in Ukraine. They are spreading misinformation. And what what they are doing is once they take a city in Ukraine, they bring their own channels there, and they bring a lot of paid actors to stage a welcome, to stage this Героям слава! Героям слава! Героям слава! Понад усе! Понад усе! Понад усе! So they're staging welcomes for their humanitarian aid. At the same time, Russia has promised a ceasefire, and Russia has promised green channels for delivery of aid and for evacuation of civilians. They're not holding out their end of the promise. They're still shelling our convoys.
Can you make it personal in terms of relating back what you're hearing from family members in Russia?
I can tell you that my male cousins, who are definitely on the radar with the Russian authorities, are no longer responding. We suspect that they're being targeted. We suspect that they're being tracked. They are unable to tell us whether that's the case or not, just for the fear of being tracked. I know they don't have access to information, and I know a lot of even their information, with them being very closely connected with us, is very much distorted by the news. The news propaganda machine is very strong since Stalin times, and their playbook hasn't changed much. So they, while they're taking away access to their people to information, they're also false producing this image that Ukrainians are welcoming their invasion, which is nowhere near the case. And like I said, in the city of Kherson, the actual Ukrainians and the actual locals chose to go hungry and to go without supplies over taking the humanitarian convoys from the Russians. They showed up, they waved their flags, they told Russia to not be there in strong terms, and they did not take a single item from the humanitarian convoys.